Behind the bag, it gets to Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
All right, welcome to Terrific Talk. This podcast, as always, is brought to you by the CLNS Media Network. I'm Tom Anderson. Steve, are the Ravens the best team in the AFC right now?
Terrific. Yeah, they've got to be. 9-1 Patriots, 8-2 Ravens. The lone loss by the Patriots was to the Ravens. They're a matchup nightmare. Now, one thing I will say, knowing Bill Belichick, is he's a scheme genius, and having seen Lamar Jackson now, if they were to face each other again in the playoffs, it could be an interesting game.
We always kind of overlook that. Just we go based on the regular season. With the Patriots, I feel like it's the same thing we saw last year where it's like, oh, is Tom Brady done? He's looking a little iffy. And then it seemed like he wasn't even trying last year in the regular season. Everybody was writing him off. Playoffs come around. They get the bye, the home games, and he looks incredible the rest of the year. I feel like the same exact thing is going to happen this time around.
Yeah, if you sleep on Brady, you're going to get burned. There's a reason that he's been to how many Super Bowls now? 9,
Yep.
All in the last 18 years or something like that. So don't sleep on them. They have a big matchup this week, though. At home versus the Cowboys. Dax, I call him Captain Checkdown. He's been getting the ball down the field. He's been playing well.
Dak's been balling out.
People are saying MVP. I mean, I think it's Russ and Lamar at this point. I mentioned Lamar the other week, and you kind of gave me the, okay, who's he beaten? And now, since then, he's beaten the Pats and he's beaten the Texans. So I think he's firmly cemented his spot currently as the front runner for the MVP. But Russell Wilson is just doing big things like he always does. So, but yes, back to that Pats-Cowboys game. I'm obviously pulling big time for the Pats this weekend because after the Eagles put up a clunker against the Pats, we need to even up that division again. So we'll see how things shake out, dude. But big weekend ahead for fantasy, big weekend ahead for just regular season football. And, of course, we got our game. So we've got the trifecta, the three-headed monster.
You mentioned fantasy, and I'm slightly cranky today because I had just a devastating loss on Monday night. I was on track for my 6th straight win. The boogeyman was out, and I was ready to really kind of solidify my place in the standings there. My game is tied going into Monday night. I've got Tyreek Hill, and I lose. He gets injured like the first play of the game. He's out with a hamstring injury. I lose this game. I drop from 3rd place to 5th place. You know, the top 4 teams in my league make the playoffs. It was just devastating.
So who did he have going?
He had Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen did get in the end zone, 8 catches, 71 yards, and a TD. So he had a pretty solid game. You got to think that if you were tied going in there, that Tyreek would expose that Chargers secondary with his speed a little bit and probably gain more yardage than that and get in the end zone. But I know that's a tough one. So what you went from 3rd to 5th. Where would you be if you had won that game? Would you have bumped up to 1st or 2nd?
I would have remained in 3rd place, but I would have jumped up above a lot of the teams below me there. Now I'm back into the middle of the pack.
Yeah, there would have been a little separation, but now they're still a tightly bunched crew for those last 2 spots, huh?
Yeah, the last 2 spots. So 4th place right now and 3rd, 6 and 5. I am 5 and 6. There are right now in our league 4 teams tied at 5 and 6.
Oh boy,
very tight.
So you got 6 teams vying for 2 spots.
I've scored more points than everybody in the league now for the season. I've got more points than everybody in the league, and that's with Tyreek screwing me. So I've got some tiebreakers there with the points, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. 3 weeks to go before the playoffs. So we need to win out here. We can't mess around.
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks to go. I got a big W this past weekend. Jimmy G balled out, which was great. I'm now tied actually atop the leaderboard first with 3 other guys, but on a points standpoint, my tiebreak puts me to 4th. So a couple big matchups because I play the guy that's immediately ahead of me this weekend in 3rd, and I have a much better team than he does. The there's another couple good matchups of people directly below me or, the guys right in front of me where they're matching up against each other. So it's either one of those where I can jump people or, further keep myself ahead of the guys behind me. But yeah, we're coming in for a hot landing. We've got 4 guys tied at 7-4, and then there's another 3 guys tied at 6-5, and 6 people make it. So a little bit different. But first top 2 get a bye. So if I could somehow sneak out a bye, I wouldn't hate it.
Things are tight all around.
Things are tight all around. The team's coming together. The one sour spot that I have right now is for my man Tyler Boyd. He had 1 target last weekend. He had a 10-yard rushing attempt. I just don't know what's going on with him and with him getting the ball. No AJ Green. I just where the target's going. I just was looking. He has 1 touchdown all year. Literally 1 touchdown. Leading the team in receptions and yards. Killing me, though, not getting the end zone.
He was super hyped up coming into the season. Everyone was all over him with AJ out. And, the Bengals, you just can't trust them with their offense. They're running the ball a ton with Mixon. He's been their best player by far on offense. And then, they're trying to lose games. So it's not a great fit. This is how bad my week, though, was last week. You, in the first time in the history of this game that we played on Terrific Talk, did not take a $5 option player. And you beat me, Steve.
And I was talking last week about how get the statisticians out to figure out the correlation of me losing in fantasy and winning in our game, or winning in our game and losing in fantasy. But I bucked the trend. I won in both.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Yep, bucked it. Kamara was a big, of course, like 10 receptions, 70 yards, 40 something, or whatever he was. Neither quarterback did anything for us, but I'm telling you, I've been hot recently with tight end picks. Mark Andrews over O.J. Howard. Was that the difference making pick there?
That's exactly the difference. Mark Andrews, 13.5 points. O.J. Howard, 0 points.
Goose egg.
And you ended up winning by about 8 points. So that was the difference right there.
Yeah, Michael Thomas played huge, and he put you in a really good position to win.
Yep.
But Mark Andrews, good on you, buddy. So that leads into the fact that I have to read out these names for our game this week, and I've got to pick first.
The floor is yours.
Let me get into that right now. Everybody, as you already know, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense. They're ranked $5, $4, $3, $2, $1. I go off just fantasy rankings online. You got to fill out 15. You have a $15 salary cap budget. Fill your team out how you see fit. Tom mentioned I didn't go a $5 player last week. Got the W, so it can be done in many different ways. That being said, here we go. Quarterbacks, $5 option. Mr. Matty Ice. He's been balling. These Falcons have been they've been getting onto a little thing here. Not that it's going to help their 3-7 record, but they're kind of showing what a lot of people thought they were going to be made of. So he'll be the $5 option. Drew Brees, $4 option. We mentioned Kamara and Michael Thomas having big weeks last week. Probably expect that to continue this week with the tilt with the Buccaneers. Now, $3, $2, $1 option here. I'm going Jacoby Brissett at $3, Jimmy G at $2. We're bringing back Big Dick Nick, BDN, for the $1 option. Partly, I want to see who you would choose of those 3, because those are my 3 quarterbacks in fantasy, and I've got a big matchup this weekend. So I'm really intrigued by what you say there. Running backs, we're going to go Nick Chubb at the $5 option, Zeke at the $4 option, Aaron Jones at the $3 option, Mark Ingram, talk about a hype man, at the $2 option, and then Carlos Hyde for the $1 option. Wideouts, it's another intriguing one. I'll see how you play this. Mike Evans will be the $5 option, Chris Godwin the $4 option. I guess they have, in the rankings, they have faith that Jameis is going to be airing it out a lot this weekend, and he probably will have to be keeping up with the Saints. Odell will be the $3 option, Calvin Ridley the $2 option, and Cortland Sutton will be the $1 option. Tight ends, Zach Ertz, $5 option. Jared Cook, $4 option. Your boy Evan Ingram, $3 option. Jacob Hollister, $2 option. And Mike Gesicki, the $1 option. Probably the first time we've had a Miami Dolphins player involved in our game this year, aside from the defense. Defense, Bills Mafia is home against Denver. They're going to be the $5 option. $4 option is going to be the Bears versus your Midgets. $3 option is going to be the Raiders at the Jets. $2 option, Detroit Lions at the Skins. $1 option, Falcons versus Tampa Bay. So again, I'm going to lead this one off. I'm going to start with defense. I'm going to go Detroit at the Skins for the $2 option.
I hate going second.
Yeah, you hate going second. I just don't trust Dwayne Haskins. I will say, we talked about this after I went to the Rose Bowl this past year, watched him up close and personal. I was not impressed. I didn't see a quarterback. NFL arm. I didn't see an NFL talent, at least a starting leading NFL talent at that point. So we'll see how he fares against the Lions. So I've got the $2 option out of the way. Quarterback, I'll go up to. I'll spend $4 on Drew Brees. Again, I think that could be a shootout in Tampa Bay. And his weapons, he's healthy. His weapons are healthy. They're starting to. Not that they really ever let up. I know they lost that one game, but they're still 8-2. But they're going to want to make that push to secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So I think they're going to keep their foot on the gas pedal the entire way here. For a wideout, I think I'm going to go with Mike Evans. Again, Jameis will probably be airing this thing out. He's his favorite target. So I've got my 5 and my 4 and my 2. My 3, I'm going to go with, I guess I can go 2 and 2. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to go Ingram at the $2 option at running back, and I'm going to go Jacob Hollister at $2 option for tight end. So there's my squad. What do you got?
All right, we'll have some similarities and some differences here as I'm going second. Quarterback, I'm going with the guy who's led my fantasy team all season. You know him, Matty Ice. I'm spending the $5 on Matty. Running back, I'm keeping it in-house with my guy, Zeke, $4 option all day.
Ooh, high-powered 1-2 right there. All right.
That's my squad. $2 option, I am going to go with, I'm betting big on the Falcons here. It could be risky, but I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley. I think there's some good value there. I like him this week.
Smart.
And then where we kind of align here, I'm going to go with, keep the $2 thing kind of going, Hollister, great clothes. I'm going to go with him at $2. And then the Lions defense as well against the Redskins. We saw just the Redskins. You see Dwayne Haskins yelling at his offensive line, like, what can I do to help you? You see that video that went viral?
Amazing, dude. Amazing.
I'll take the defense.
They're so bad, dude.
So I noticed you slotted in all those quarterbacks there as the lower options in our game, and you were texting me yesterday I saw you digging. You were like, who are you going with? I looked into it here, and I have a very, very clear answer. It's no-brainer. Go with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, no. I think that's where I'm leaning. Jimmy G's been he's been up and down, but
that's a tough spot for Jimmy G on Sunday night against the Packers. I know they're home, but that's a tough spot.
That's what I'm worried about. Aaron Rodgers has been playing well all year. You've got Aaron Jones coming into town, and he's been running well. I just worry, is it going to be a time of possession game? And am I going to be able to rely on 4 touchdowns out of him. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Now, this Colts-Texans game, this is a division. Yeah, that's the other thing where I'm worried about. We're talking division game.
Also, Thursday night game, and guys have
dude.
It up on Thursdays.
So where I'm like kind of hesitant now. Jacoby's coming off a little bit of an injury, so he's a little bit more rested because, he's only played one game, let's say in the last 2-3 weeks. I'm just I'm hesitant to pull the trigger. I was thinking that after 1 week, Nick Foles would kind of get into a rhythm and get rolling, but after that performance this past weekend, I just got to see a little bit more before I pull the trigger on him. Yeah. And I feel like anytime a team goes into Tennessee, those games end up being 13-10 games. Mark Henry and Leonard Fournette, it's going to be a lot of running the football. So I feel like it's just going to be
timeout. Derrick Henry. I love that you said
Mark Henry. I know. I was thinking Mark Ingram. Yeah. Great wrestler. We talked about The Rock last week, so look at that wrestling back-to-back weeks in the pod. Yeah, Derrick Henry and Leonard Fournette. I think it's going to be a time of possession type of game and low scoring. So I'm just between. You're going Jacoby. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
I feel good about it. Look what Lamar just did against that Texan defense.
Truth.
Let's go. Let's get to our NFL picks here. We mentioned my game that I'm looking at. We mentioned the Packers, San Francisco. I like the Packers getting points here on the road on Sunday night. I mentioned it's a big spot for Jimmy G. Aaron Rodgers has been there. Aaron Rodgers versus Jimmy G. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. The last time Jimmy G played in prime time was against the Seahawks at home, and they took the L. And there were times during that game where he just looked totally lost. QBR that week was 18.9, 66% passer rating. While I don't think that the Packers defense is the Seahawks defense, I think that's to your point a tough spot for him to excel. And again, anytime Aaron Rodgers is getting points, how do you say no? We talked about him last weekend. We talked about him earlier in our game picks. Falcons at home, 4.5 points to the Buccaneers. I don't want to get burned. I don't want to jump too quick into the deep end, but the Falcons are playing well, and Jameis is just Mr. Turnover. I got to think that the Falcons can win this game by at least 5. What do you think?
I really don't know what to make of the Falcons. I liked them going into Carolina the more I thought about it last week. I'm just really confused by their defense. I think that's really the big thing because Matt Ryan's been pretty solid all season long. They've put up points, but the defense at the beginning of the year was just dreadful, horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2 weeks, it's like they're getting after the quarterback a ton and a whole new defense. So I would tend to lean towards Atlanta here, but again, it's hard to trust them. I think this could be kind of a shootout kind of game.
Yeah, and I think we'll just stick it at that. I'll lean towards Atlanta. Could be swayed another way. I'll be interested to see how the line moves. If all of a sudden we get Atlanta 5, Atlanta 5.5, I'm happy that I would have taken them at 4.5. Just like we were happy last week that we took that we said to take the Cardinals getting 13.5 because that line moved down to 10, and then what do you know? Last second Niners cover because of a lateral fumble. Blah 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 blah.
Ridiculous.
The other game, Broncos against the Bills Mafia. We touched on the Bills Mafia being our $5 defense. Bills Mafia given 4 to the Broncos. Now, I know the Broncos played well last week against the Vikings, and they squandered a 20-point lead late to lose a game that I was a huge Broncos fan while spectating that one, just from a seeding perspective. But you're going into Buffalo. I got to think the Bills Mafia circles the wagons, right? And wins that game by more than 4.
There's going to be thousands of Liebners there, so it's going to be a pretty wild crowd.
It's going to be a wild crowd. They are a dumpster fire, but
I was really impressed with Denver's offense in that Minnesota game. They have some big receivers, like they could go up and get it. That was impressive.
Yeah, I agree. So again, leaning Falcons, leaning Bills. The other one, I'm leaning Raiders Sneaky good team, man. We talked about them last week. Only giving 2.5 to the Jets. I know it's in East Rutherford at MetLife, but I got to think the Raiders win that game by 3. They have to stay in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I think Oakland needs the game a little bit more, and I think they just right now are a little bit of the better team. I mean, the Jets, kudos to them. They took care of business against the Redskins, 2 wins in a row. Jet fans are feeling frisky again.
I bet the New York media is going nuts.
They're going crazy here. It's like unbelievable. Everyone forgot about the ghost and mono, but yeah, I think Oakland can win this game definitely by a field goal. I would take the Raiders.
Now we got to talk about an early Sunday morning game for a West Coast team, which is never easy. But I think Derek Carr. I think the offense, the play calling is perfect for him right now, and I think that they can get that done. Now talk about an early Sunday morning game for a West Coast team. This game got flexed out of prime time in favor of Packers and 49ers Sunday night. And that's Seahawks-Eagles. Is it why is this line Philly giving 2 when the Seahawks are 8-2 and the Eagles are 5-5 and there's just no identity? The identity of this Eagles team is just frustrating me beyond belief. Should this be -2 Philly? Is this just a courtesy that they won a Super Bowl a year and a half ago? What's going on here?
This line is extremely fishy, Steve.
Right? What is happening?
It makes absolutely no sense. It makes 0 sense, especially after what we just watched. Russell coming off the bye. Seattle should win this game, but this line is very weird. So I might be excited if I'm a Birds fan.
I know that's kind of where my mindset is, but I don't want to be reading the tea leaves wrong.
I think you're right. I think it's a trap. I think it's a trap game for Seattle. I think the Eagles are going to win.
Oh, man, that would be brilliant because we need to win and we need to see Dallas lose just to kind of even things back up again.
All right, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up is going to go to you, Mr. Terrific.
Ooh.
Because our boy Solly, we talk about him often, he's been hounding you to get out there for F45. And you jumped off the side of the pool and you jumped in the deep end and you just went full tilt right in. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, F45 is one of these kind of high-intensity military-style workouts. Our friend Solly has gotten into this, and he's been just hounding me to come to these for months, and I've been like, no, it's not really my thing. But, I was like, hey, all right, Solly, you're my boy. I want to come hang out with you. I'll do this for you as a courtesy. So I went. And the second the thing starts, they're like, all right, heads up, there's going to be no breaks, no water breaks. I'm looking around, and it's like all these people that have been there every single day. Like, they go to, 7 days a week. Like, they're very intense. And it's, 16 different stations or whatever, 40, there's different intervals, and million burpees, which I don't do burpees ever. I almost died, Steve. It was pretty brutal. Literally almost died.
You said no water breaks. All I could think of is Remember the Titans. Coach, we need a water break. Water break?
It was
Water is for wiping blood off my uniform, and you don't get no blood on my damn uniform. Boy, you must be outside your mind. God, I love Denzel.
It was pretty scary. The people there were very nice, though. Solly was helping me out. He's just like, just pace yourself. And then these military trainer guys keep coming up to you. They're like, come on, more. And I'm going to die. I can't breathe. My chest.
I can't do this. Please.
It was awful. But yeah, shout out to the F45 crew out there.
Love it. Thumbs down for me. It's like a light thumbs down. It's just more of a frustration, a thumbs down out of frustration. And it's with my hardwood boys, my Sixer boys. They just have been losing these stupid games. And I know it's early in the season. It really doesn't matter. But you know that we're going to get to the end of the season and it's going to be like, oh, we're a game out of first. Oh, we're 2 games out of third. And a loss to the Magic, who just we cannot seem to beat for some reason, is going to come back to haunt us. A loss to the Suns is going to come back to haunt us. A loss to the Thunder. I mean, like what? They drive me crazy. A little bit. I mean, obviously I love them, but like I said, more out of frustration. We're 4-0 at home. We're 4-5 on the road. I mean, we got to step our game up.
That was the same exact thing you did last year.
Yeah.
You were
And what
dominant
happened?
at home and terrible on the
Yeah,
road.
for sure. Oh, for sure. I thought you meant like me giving them a thumbs down. Yeah, no, dominant at home, terrible on the road. 4-5 on the road, dude.
Not great. Yeah, no, you missed Jimmy Butler. You need a playmaker at the end of those games.
And that with that being said, we had Furkan step up big, hit a game-winning 3 against the Hawks. So it could be worse.
Is Ben Simmons going to shoot jumpers now or no? What happened to that?
No, I guess not.
What the hell? Like what happened?
And I mean, I know that JoJo's a beast, but the whole giving the ball to him, like at the top of the key with time running down to create a shot, like he's not a guard. You know what I mean? Like I know he's worked on his handle, but if there's ever someone leaking over to help, he's just in trouble. So Toby's got to step up or something, or we got to figure something out here because it's just not. In my opinion, it's not gonna be good for a stretch run because you know how playoffs go. They're always tight games.
Steve, 4 words.
Give them
Brett
to me.
Brown hot seat.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, Australia's picking him up as their national coach, so we'll see. We'll see if maybe that's his exit strategy. No, I doubt it. But
my thumbs up this week, something I never thought I would give a thumbs up to after he just spurned the Nets. How about Carmelo Anthony's comeback?
Melo, I
Melo,
love it.
Back in the league, right away hits a 3, does his little thing and pointing at his head. You gotta love seeing Melo back. He had a rough kind of go last year, but the NBA just kind of was like, you know what, Melo, screw you, we're over you. It was good to see him back playing again. The guy can still get buckets. He plays 0 defense. He's exactly what you're getting from Melo. It was fun for me to go watch Carmelo play for Portland last night.
Yeah, Melo. He's going to go down as probably one of the most prolific scorers, pure scorers in the game. You want instant offense, he's going to give it to you. But yeah, no defense. It is good to see him back, though. It'll be interesting to see what the Trailblazers are able to do. Adding him into the mix. I mean, they're 5-10 right now. Not good. I believe I said that I felt that they were going to have a little bit of a relapse this year, looking like they will, but maybe something like this gives them a little boost, a little jump start. So we'll see how Melo can, we'll see how he can maintain his efforts. I mean, that's the one thing at this point. He jumped into the season, 14 games in, it's still an 82-game season. So we'll just have to kind of keep that monitored.
He needs to come off the bench. He can't be starting. He should only be playing, maybe 20 minutes a night. And Dame needs to get back healthy and really carry the team like he did last year. They're in a lot of trouble. They miss Nurkic a lot. The Hassan Whiteside thing, not good. So yeah, it's a weird year, I think, for the Blazers. My thumbs down. Baseball, Steve.
Uh-oh.
The Houston Astros.
What I missed, what did they do? Baseball's out just off my radar right now. I do have to say though, Rookie of the Year and Cy Young, you called that.
New York Metropolitans, baby. Congrats DeGrom. Congrats Pete Alonso. The future is bright in New York, not so much in Philly. But where was I? The 2017 World Series champions are under fire right now with a report out by The Athletic that they were using live video feeds to steal signs and signal to their hitters what pitchers were coming. It was amazing. The Astros would watch the signs the catcher was giving from the center field camera. If it was an off-speed pitch, they would bang a trash can in the dugout for the hitter to hear. If the pitch was a fastball, no garbage can bang. That was literally like the brilliance that they went to. No one noticed this until apparently now. Astros now busted. Everyone's freaking out that they were stealing signs. I don't even care. I'm kind of impressed. Like, my thumbs down's more to like the reaction to this. Like, of course teams are stealing signs. This has always been a thing. People get so weird about baseball and how pure the game needs to be. Steve, what do you make of this?
I did just smack my forehead. And I smacked my forehead because I can't believe that their signaling was banging on a trash can.
How good is that?
Amazing. It is amazing, and it is kind of pathetic that people didn't catch on to that. It's the whole sign stealing thing. There's nothing about that really like gets me annoyed. Like, what do people expect? Like, defenses in the NFL. Not that they're sign stealing, but they like figure out the reads and they can predict the play and all that. It's just like that's now going live feed is a different story. It is like a little different story doing it that route, but get creative with how you're calling for a pitch there, catcher. You know what I mean?
Bang the trash can. How did no one notice that somebody was banging the trash can all the time?
It is pretty remarkable that no one picked up on that. It took people 2 years to figure that one out.
It's absurd. Let's get to our terrific TV spot. What are you watching, Steve?
So I've actually been getting pretty deep into Breaking Bad. So, man, I don't know how to say this. I forget where. Oh, I know where I was. I was down in one of Aaron's high school friends was in San Diego for a wedding. So we went down, hung out with him this weekend. He was staying with a college roommates from Baltimore. So of course we start talking Wire, and I'm telling how I'm into Breaking Bad, and everyone's like, "Oh, I love Breaking Bad," and I was like, "Well, like my take on Breaking Bad, which I think it's very good. I just feel like so much time has gone by and like very little has happened. I feel like I'm maybe 5 episodes into season 3. I feel like that whole span, 1, 2, and this first portion of season 3 could be one season. Not that it's bad. I think it's all great content. I mean, maybe it's the fact that I'm watching it now so much later. But then the friends of Aaron from high school, of course, then he goes and said, I felt the same way about The Wire. And like the Baltimore guy, I thought he was going to jump off the roof because he was like, how could you say something like that? But no, yeah, Breaking Bad is going very well again, from a content standpoint, it's great. It's just slow building. What I just found out was Skylar had her little fling with her boss because she's pissed at Walt for just basically forcing his way back into the house. So there's some tension there.
I'll tell you this. I did not really enjoy much of the Skylar storylines. It's just like, what are we doing?
It's like her like nagging about the cell phone. I'm like, geez, it's just like freaking move on. I don't know. Yeah, I agreed there. But
stick with it.
So I'm in. I'll see it through. I'm definitely looking forward to it. We've got one episode left of Peaky too, so that'll be fun tonight.
What
about you?
Your recommendation, The Boys.
Oh yeah, dude, The Boys is good.
Pretty good.
It's pretty it's for just like a spoof like a spoof type comedy drama on superheroes. But yeah, it's enjoyable. How far in are you?
We're about, I think, 6 episodes in.
Okay. So almost, what is it? It's only 8, I think, right?
Yeah. Is there a second season?
Not. There will, based on how it ends, there will be. They haven't announced one, I don't think, yet. But actually, let me see. Let me see if they put something out there. Dude, you're going to be annoyed at me, though. I haven't, well, there's teaser trailers for 2022. Coming mid-2022. Or mid-2022. Mid-2020. Sorry. Jeez Louise.
2022 would have been like,
I know. Sorry. Mid-2020 coming back for season 2. But, you'll be a little annoyed at me, dude. I haven't gotten Jack Ryan yet.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Like my spare time, I've been doing Breaking Bad just to try to get through it. But I will. I'll get there. Don't worry.
Aaron, get to Jack Ryan. Get him in front of the TV. You guys. Together.
I will give her a little bit of an out here. Our little guy him and sleeping at night he's just not a fan of it. Really, he wakes up like every 2 to 3 hours. So that in turn, Aaron's sleeping has not been the best. So like she gets to 9 o'clock and is like literally already falling asleep. So, but we'll get there. I'm not worried.
It's really good. One other thing I'm watching documentary about Scotch on Amazon. Pretty
Whoa.
good.
All right.
I don't really know, I didn't really know anything about Scotch, and I've always felt kind of like an idiot when people who do know what they're talking about with Scotch are around me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Hour and a half documentary about these guys in Scotland, and they're just this distillery. It's really good. All I want to do now is just sip on Scotch and act snobby around people.
Okay. I'll as a little homage to my heritage, my grandmother's 2 parents are straight from Scotland. I'll have to look that one up.
Hell yeah. It's good. It's really good. Check it out. Any parting words here, Steve?
Just, fly eagles fly. Trust the process. Let's keep it rolling here. Big weekend. Good luck to everyone with their fantasy. Please play our game. I need some competition. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Wow.
What are we right now? Are we 4 and 3? Are you 4 wins? I'm 3 wins.
No, you've won twice, so you get 3 wins.
I won 3. I won back to back.
No way you've won 3.
Yes, I did. Run the tape back. I won back to back. I won this past weekend. You beat me the prior weekend, and then I won the 2 before that. Because I lost. Remember, I lost both times in fantasy, so I was like, I can't win in one, and I can't win in both. I have to win one and lose the other.
We'll have to have the producers go back and listen to that. I can't take your word for it.
Run the tape.
Yeah, everybody play the game. It's always a good time. Maybe skip the $5 options. 1-0 so far if you don't do that. So we'll see you guys next week. I'm still pissed about Tyreek Hill, and I don't even really want to talk about fantasy football anymore. So I will see you next week with Steve. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the cold weather here on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast with Steve,
let's bring the sunshine back.
Stay cool. We'll see you next week. Kobe.
Welcome to Terrific Talk. My name is Tom Anderson. Tom Anderson.
Back again, gone. Back, gone. Tom
Anderson.
Great cash, homie. Great cash, homie.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Sound going crazy.
Terrific Talk Podcast. Welcome back, Terrific Talk Podcast.
Here comes the hoe.
I'm your host, Tom Anderson.
First, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes